Hello and welcome. Recently, quite a few people have been saying that they feel broke or they don't have good ways to make money in Ultimatum. Now, if you're just reaching maps, one of the best ways that you can make money is just by doing the League mechanic. You can go to Blood Aqueduct, you can use the Quarry, you can use the Foothills. Really, it's pick any reasonably close to endgame zone that you're comfortable with, ideally with easy-to-find spawns near an entrance and exit, and just run ultimatums. Do as many waves as you're able to comfortably complete, but try to make sure you get to at least wave 4, because that's where currency is offered. This is how I made my seed money at the very beginning of the League, and it's still a great way to do it. It'll be a little harder to make an Exalt, because the price of Exalts have tripled relative to Chaos since I did mine. But if you only need a few Chaos to get your starting items, then you'll be good to go. But what about after you get into maps? And what about as you're getting into yellow maps and looking to transition into red maps? This is a point where a lot of people's builds struggle, and I'm going to be addressing that in a future video. So if you've ever struggled when you're just breaking into red maps, you're between level 85 and 90, and you don't know what's wrong, and you've ever solved the problem by re-rolling, I suggest you subscribe to the channel or join my Discord so that you can catch that video when it comes out, which should be in a few days. But what if your build's fine and you just need more money? Well, the method that I used was to focus farm in Haewark Hamlet. You might be thinking, oh, that's the Harvest place, and last League it very much was. Harvest has since then been significantly nerfed, and I don't think it's really going to be worth your time to invest in if you're just getting to yellow and red maps now. Early in the League, it was still very good. You could use Reforges, make Cluster Jewels, and make a lot of money, and you still can. But there's a better way. That way is taking Controlled Corruption and Amplified, then using your map device to put Essence on every map that you run in Haewark Hamlet. Essences are currently pretty underrated as a money-making method. Most of the essences that you'll get will be Screaming or higher, due to Amplified upgrading essences by 1 tier. If you can afford it, you can also add Chromium Watchstones, which have a 7 to 15% chance for imprisoned monsters in areas to have an additional essence. What all this adds up to is you'll be spending 2 extra Chaos for every map you run, but you'll be getting back an average of about 6 essences, most of which are worth 1 Chaos, but some of which will be worth 4 and even 5 Chaos each. If you find a really good essence monster, something with Misery, Envy, Scorn, or Dread, and 3 to 5 total essences, I do suggest using your Remnants of Corruption to corrupt it. But if you don't feel comfortable with that level of risk, you can always just sell them, as they go for about 6 Chaos each, so they aren't an inconsequential amount of money. If you don't corrupt them, you won't get any of the rare corrupted essences, but you will get plenty of Screaming, Shrieking, and Deafening essences, all of which are still extremely profitable. When it comes to selling these essences, make sure to remember that you don't want to sell them as soon as you get them. Let them build up a bit. I suggest trying to sell them in lots of 10 to 20. It'll take a few maps, but by selling them in bulk, you'll be able to get, on average, double the price you would if you were selling them singly. Plus, it's a lot less stressful to only have to do 1 trade than to have to do 10. As you continue to progress, I suggest taking Sacred Lands and then Paid in Blood. This will allow you to get a fair number of rituals that will be appearing in the maps that you're running through for essences. The advantage of this is rituals are also highly rewarding and takes very little time. You just kill all the monsters, and when you're done with the last ritual, you go over to the altar, you pick your rewards, and you're good to go. Ritual still offers raw currency a significant portion of the time, and in a tier 16 map, if you get the right base, it can be worth a couple Exalts. So, earlier today, I did a test sample of 30 maps. There was quite a bit of variance between map to map, and I recorded them in sets of 6 just because that was 2 sets of sextants. There was a solid bit of variance, so don't be surprised if your first couple maps aren't profitable, and don't expect a ton of money if you happen to get 30 or 40 C in your first map. But after doing 30 maps, it averaged out to around 10 to 12 Chaos Orbs per map in essences. So think about that for a minute. If you're reasonably efficient, you can run as many as 20 maps in an hour. If you're less efficient, you can probably run 10 maps in an hour. This means you're getting 100 to 200 Chaos Orbs just off of the essences. That is on top of the value from Ultimatum. That is on top of the value from Master Missions that you can add. That's on top of the value from Ritual. And on top of all of the normal map drops. is this going to win the award for most exalts per hour on a fully min-maxed Headhunter build that moves 1,000,000 miles a second? Absolutely not. But this is extremely low investment, and it's something that anyone can do. It doesn't require crazy gear, it doesn't require crazy builds, and it doesn't require a ton of min-maxing. It really is just go through your map, make sure you kill the essence monsters, make sure you collect all the essences, and sell them in bulk. Personally, I found it easiest to upgrade all of my Screaming Essences and below to at least Shrieking level. You don't have to do this. You could sell individually. You could even potentially upgrade all the way to Deafening. But in general, I found for most essences, if I upgraded 3 to a Shrieking, I'd gain about 0.5 chaos in value per essence. If I upgraded to Deafening, I'd lose about 0.33 chaos in value. So it's kind of up to you whether or not you want to spend more time or get a little bit more money. I opted for the more money, as this was something I was doing early on in the league. As time has gone on, I've kind of stopped doing it and just upgraded to Deafening because it's way easier. This is one of the best methods that I've found, at least since Delirium and Legion League, because it requires almost no game knowledge, and it doesn't require super high tier content. In fact, when I compared a set of tier 7 to 10 maps with a set of tier 14 to 16 maps, I didn't notice a huge variance in terms of my profit per hour. At least, not the profit from the essences themselves. Obviously, the profit from Ritual, the profit from Ultimatum, and the profit from the map was significantly lower in yellow maps, but essences remained reliable, which makes them a great tool to build up your build and get ready for those more challenging maps. So now, my question to you is, what do you tend to do on League Start for money? Do you just map and hope for the best? Do you go straight to crafting? Do you combine a mix of things? Do you kill bosses? Or do you do something else? I'd love to hear what you like to do. I know a lot of people struggle with money making, especially early League, so if you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a like so that the YouTube algorithm promotes it and shows it to more people. Just from selling the essences alone, I think I've made enough money at this point that I could buy gear equal to what I have on my character for an entirely second build, which is probably what I'm going to be doing. And again, if you feel like your build's bad, and you feel like you reroll and the next build's bad, and you reroll and the build after that is bad, and can't get past that, keep an eye out for my next video, as that is going to address that, and hopefully give you some insight as to why that happens, and how to avoid it. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. And special thanks to all of my channel members who help support me so that I can continue to make videos just like this one. Your support really means a lot, and without it, I probably wouldn't be able to make videos of this regularly. If you want to help support the channel, click the membership button or the link down in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful and want to ask me a question in a more interactive setting, I stream at least once a week here on YouTube, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you have relating to this video or any of my other videos. Thank you again, and I hope to see you on stream sometime. Have a great day.